Before we can get into today's trading, let's take a peek at what was mapped out in the AM briefing. If this thing was to fly up, I'm probably just going to watch. If we were to come in and at least take the London low, at least challenge this, I would consider that some sort of decent pullback, and we could use the strong range here as possible entries. So yesterday was beautiful. If you were up 20, 30, 40, 50 points, you know, that 50 points is a week worth of points. You know, you're up really nice. You don't have to trade today. Be extra picky. Be extra picky. All right. So let's see if battle plan 1 will make it to the target. If you took the apex, you had to survive a double tap. If you took the trade into here, you had to look at structure and realize where do you want to go short based off structure. And really nice. If I was short from above, from battle plan 1, I would move my stop to here. And I would have a TP setting right here. And drop to a 1-minute chart. We're getting the setup we were talking about in the AM briefing that I wanted it to flush the strong range and reclaim it. 15-point candle to start the day. Isn't that beautiful? Let's see if we can stay above the strong range. 15-point candle, 15-point candle. You don't have to trade this. Still inside the first 6 minutes. With the bottom of this range, help hold price up. That's the first bounce we're looking for, is off the bottom of the range right there. Absolutely gorgeous. Big candles, big candles. If you took the bottom of the range, be protective. Don't let it go against you. I am long 1 micro off the bottom of that strong range. Stop is now at 1 tick profit. We were looking for a push down into here. Get back up. Test the bottom of this. So if you're long, try to stay long. Bulls are certainly exerting some control here. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and capture I'm going to capture 3 points of it. Small, 1 micro. It's inside the first 6 minutes. Not my favorite time to trade, but it mapped out to what we talked about in the AM briefing. So I was interested in small. I had a 2-point stop loss. I'm okay with that. If it gets me out, no big deal. We will wait for the next trade. So if you were short from above, that would have gotten you out. And that's why I said move your stop right there. Nice trade. You're done. You know, the opening is often an interesting trade, but these are very big candles, so you want to be careful. If you took that opening, be protective now. Beautiful. Yeah, you took a point of heat. There's your 10-pointer. You know, make sure you capture something in that move, whether it's 5 points or a 10-pointer. You could take that 10-pointer if you wanted. It is counter. We are under the bull bear line. We are under the 6902. Make sure you capture something. If you had 3 contracts, I'd take them off at 10-10 and just keep that third one at the opening, or just under the opening if you wanted to give it a little bit of space to retap it. If you were to short the bull bear line, I would do it on the opposite side of it. I would do it on the opposite side if you were just dying to short. And then I would have a tiny stop loss on it. Just a tiny stop loss. That's if you went, no, bears are in control, and they are. So if you're to short 88.50 with a small stop, I'm not encouraging you to do that, but 88.50 with a small stop. Nice trap the trader long off the bottom there. Bounced off the opening with a point of heat. If you took that long, you're doing really good here. I would now probably make sure you capture your 10-pointer. My humble opinion, we're at a place where price could come back in beautifully. It made it to 88.75. So if you took that short at 88.50, be protective, move it to break even, and hands off the mouse, because if this thing decides to come in, there's a really good distance that we could travel. On that move from the opening, we said make sure you capture, once it got there, make sure you capture your 10-pointer, my humble opinion. If you took the 88.50 short, freaking gorgeous. Be protective now, because if it's going to go down, it's got a good ways it could go. It's up to you. Treat it like a scalp or treat it like a lotto runner. I can't tell you how to trade it. You trade it. So I'm sure we got traders long, we got traders short. I'm cheering for both of you. I wish I knew which way it was going to go. We're just really good at where is price probably going to bounce. I don't know how far it's going to bounce. So at this point, as objectively as possible, we're above the opening, we're above VWAP. We took the London low, giving evidence of laddering back. The only short we discussed that you could take is the 88.50. If you did that, congrats. All right, you're up 10 points if you took that short. Make sure you capture something now. So somewhere between current price and the strong level, I would capture part of that. Coming back to the strong range. So if you took that 88.50 short, gosh, make sure you capture something. At the VWAP is 10 points. Up in here is 5 points. But you know, if it's going to go down, it's going to do 50, I think. So if anyone took the long off the opening, you're probably completely out. Nice TPs on that. If you're short, you might have the best trade of the day here. 88.50, 20-pointer is here. You know, the bulls did an amazing job yesterday. Will they continue? Well, we made it all the way to battle plan 1 here at the 69.02. So we made it there. They did the bulls did it. Anything above that is just ridiculous bonus. If you're short, try to stay short. Let's target the RTH halfback from yesterday and the opening. And then we'll bring up battle plan 2, retesting the opening. Let's see if it'll push it down. Nice strong defense in the strong range. Nice push off this strong level. Playing ping pong very nicely. So if you were short at the 88.50, when we got down on that strong range, if you want to capture 10 points, you're probably out. I would not be shorting this again, my humble opinion. Back at the bull bear line. Can we clear it? We are all above. All above. Do not be shorting this now. As I said earlier, I believe the short had already played. If you took that high risk short at 88.50, you did well. Don't look to short again. My humble opinion. We are all above. Starting to feel like old times. Above that bull bear line, we're now going to come to 69.02 to test it again. If we rip above that, beautiful. We are all above. Bulls did a lot of work yesterday, as I tried to point out. That to me, they had a banner type of day. We're not likely to see that battle plan 2, and so far, our best chance was on this first push. Then this push looked pretty good for a minute. All right, now we'll see, do we get this to come back up here and test this? Or is the bull so strong you're not going to get any pullback? Mark out that 88.50. So I called that short at 88.50. Look where it pulled back. Right to 88.50. Maybe I should have gave a little better guidance on that entry. I'm going to go ahead and lock 5 points. And for some reason, you get a monster candle like this. Just stand down. Just stand down. High risk short here. This was honestly a high risk long here. Then we talked about a long here and then a long there. So pretty good. It's a 13-point day. Anytime you can make 10 points or more, you had an amazing day. 5 to 10 points a day consistently. And as your account grows and you earn the right to trade with larger leverage, you're going to do really, really well. All right, made it to that 69.02, which I felt if we got back to here, that's what's going to happen. And now if you start getting really large white candles, you just stand down. Very, very nice. Very nice. I wouldn't be looking to short this. Now, that said, we just took the overnight high. If we get a reversal pattern here, we'll talk about it. But do not blindly short this. Last night's AM briefing, I talked about lotto runners. So I'm just going to read that because I think it's important. Today, once again, the power of holding a lotto runner, closing your platform and walking away from the computer. So once again, today showed the power of holding a lotto runner and walking. Your lotto runner does not need your tick by tick supervision. Ron, I don't have a target. My target is to close your platform and walk away. Now, if you have to take a TP, well, the very next strong range right here might be a good place. But dude, this could be a 200-point move today. If you're going to want to trail, just move your stop behind a strong level. So let's talk about that. Move your stop behind a strong level. If price reclaims this strong level, move it behind here. If it reclaims this, move it behind there, okay? If you're really needing to follow. If you don't need to follow, kind of let it go, man. This could be, an amazing trade. Last night I said, I doubt we see battle plan 2. The bulls have a lot here. You don't need to try to TP unless, now, if you're in a funded account and you can only make so much money in a day, well, figure out where that is and just take your profit. If you're in an eval and you're worried about drawdown, just move it behind strong levels. Does that make sense? Let it go. You were in an amazing trade. Your lotto runner does not need your tick by tick supervision, Ron. You only get in the way. At least that's my personal experience. That's just me. Several of us had an amazing long towards the end of Zoom. We're in an amazing long now. So keep that runner back. And just as a note, again, I say it often, but it is always worthy to continue to mentally trade every trade as if you kept a runner back. Why? You want the mental reps. You want the mental reps. Some trades go no further than break even, and some run 100+ points. So, beautiful. And I said, if we start getting big white candles here, just stand down. And that's what we're getting. This trade didn't follow through. This trade didn't follow through. This trade is following through so far. All right. Very nice. Now, Ron, or whoever's wanting to trail, if we can clear this, move your stop behind here. Nice job. If you're long, try to stay long. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what we do. And very well, we could come into this strong level. It rejects. We slam back underneath here. This is getting to where warning shot to bears. Warning shot to bears. We're getting close to that. I don't know how far price is going to go. All we can do now is follow. We submit. Submit to predicting what you think price is going to do. You don't know. I don't know. Nothing to do now but the waiting. I'm going to move my stop now behind the 69.02 strong level. As I said, if you wanted a perfect TP earlier, you TP right in front of that and you be done. You're like, all right, I'm done. If you're wanting to trail, you got to allow price to, you have to allow price to pull back. So it went up, it pulled back. It went up, you got to allow it to pull back. It's got to go up. You got to allow it to pull back. It's the pullbacks that really get people. They're like, oh, I need to get out. Very difficult. And now it bounces both ways, but man, I found if I just focus more on the long side, I do significantly better. 90% of my trades are longs. I will short. I map them out, but they're not as plentiful. My humble opinion. So we're building a little bit of a base here. Bulls don't seem scared yet. They're not giving it up yet. Of course, one tweak can change everything. One bomb dropping can change everything. And at this point, price does not need my tick by tick supervision. You know, we're having a little bit of a laddering down. That doesn't mean to go short. You know, I would be perfectly fine if it dipped here, got back up over and did something like that. And my stop is behind that scenario. Other than that, my stop would have to be way down here, and I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. I'm capturing part of the move. 20-minute candle ends. This is a set of single prints. So another place that you could have your stop is behind the filling of the single prints. And I think I'm going to actually adjust my stop because my stop is just in front of those single prints. I'm going to move my stop back. I want to be behind the single prints. Once again, if you're long, this strong range is a great place to TP. I don't know if we're going to get through this. I don't know. It seems to me we have two solid lows from yesterday. And actually, this mapped out what we said in the AM briefing. I'd like to see us get underneath here and get back above the strong range. And boy, that's what happened. Too bad I'm not long from down here. You had to front run it though. I mapped out that arrow there for us to at least come to the next strong level. You had to front run it by just a little bit. It didn't actually pull back to it. I actually went long before that pullback. I have some nice points from yesterday, so I could be a little more aggressive. Missed Jackie by 2 ticks. He was wanting a little bit more of a pullback. Did you get out at the strong level? That was a perfect TP. If that's where you got out, that's nice. That's perfect. You cannot be upset about anything. Whatever price does, you can't be upset about it. The only thing I would encourage you to do is to continually mental trade it. Jake, I was able to get in as it crossed. Beautiful. 110 points right in. Oh, nice. Jake, thank you for letting me join. You're welcome. You'll be upgrading tonight. Cool. All right, guys, I think that's it. I mean, there's no sense in watching to the bitter end. There's going to be no other trade here. The only goal here is to hold your runner if you're long, continually to mental trade it if you're not long.
Get tomorrow's trades tonight at microstrader.com and click Battle Plan.